All right, so we are going to move ahead with the second segment of today's program. We have completed the International Speech Contest judging criteria. The next is on the evaluation contest. Now, to take us through this segment, we have the present Area 20 Director, DTAC 2025 Malayalam Language Coordinator, past President BPPR and Treasurer of Doha Malayalam Toastmasters Club. He is also the past Division E Community Engagement Manager, and he is also the second place winner of the Division E Evaluation Contest. Now, this person is a very humble and soft spoken, and every time you listen to him give his evaluation, you're not going to understand that he's the way he gives those even the improvement points. It sounds so nice that you'll definitely come back. And he is one of my favorite evaluators and general evaluators with the kind of feedback that he gives. So let's put our hands together to welcome Toastmaster Mohammed Ajmal to take this segment.
Hello. Yeah. Loud and clear? Behind?
Too many hellos to come here.
So very warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naila, for introducing me. So, evaluation contest. You know, evaluation contest is the most easiest contest to judge. I will tell you why. Now, I think we have a lot of new judges here, right? When DD asked there, I saw a lot of judges. So for you, I would like to tell something from my experience. Now, around 2 years before, I happened to be the second place winner in Division E evaluation contest. So I got my cup and I was very happy. And I was going home and I was excited that I show this to my wife, to share this victory with my wife. So I reached home, I showed it to my wife. My wife took the cup, she read it, and that's it. She went back to her usual stuff. That was not this response I was expecting. So I was a bit sad and I asked, why what happened? Why are you not happy for me? So she told me, what is a big deal? This is evaluation contest. Being judgmental runs in your family. It's not a big deal. So I didn't take my time to explain to her what is the difference between evaluation and being judgmental, because I will have to use that evaluation on the certain another time. Anyway, so what I want to say is that we as judges should know what is the difference between being judgmental and an evaluation. I know in Toastmasters, one of the first things you learn is how not to be judged. Nevertheless, I think Yeah. So judgment means you're labeling people. Evaluation means it lifts the people. So as a judge, what you have to keep in mind is that is the contestants actually lifting the speakers. Now let's look at the ballot. You all have your ballot with you. So we have only 4 criteria. And each criteria you can see that there's a lot of space. That is why I said to judge for evaluation, it's a bit easy. For example, analytical quality, you have 40 marks. You have seen the before ballot, it only has 10 or 20 maximum. That's it. So here you have a big space, especially when you go to division contest and all, when you have 7, 8 contestants, you will understand what I'm talking. So we have 4 criteria. Those are analytical, which carries 40 marks. Then there is recommendation, which carries 30 marks. Then there is technique, which carries 15 marks, and summation, which carries 50 marks. Now let's go one by one. Analytical quality. What is analytical quality? Analytical quality is something which is, the evaluator has clearly or logically identified the strengths and the weaknesses. It's just like a speech. We have to analytically, we need to see that if the evaluator had an opening body conclusion, if he or she has made that what is the positives and what is the points of improvements to be done in the speech. So what we have to actually look into this is that specific observations. For example, the evaluator cannot say that, or when he is saying that the voice modulation was okay, the voice modulation was good, that is not enough. He should specify that wherever he made it right. Like, for example, when you were talking to your mother on phone, you had that voice modulation between the communication between you and your mom. So you have to, the evaluator has to, the contestant has to tell that, you have to specify in which place he found that positives and that weaknesses. Then there should not be only some praises or only criticism. There should be a balance between both praises and both criticism. And sometimes you will see that the evaluator in the beginning, the contestant in the beginning, he will say some things about the speech, which is, it is not an evaluation as such. It is not like pointing out some positives or giving him some feedbacks. It is something like, yeah, I relate to it, something like that. So these are not to be widely considered. Other than this one, you need to consider the other points, which is beneficial for the test speaker. Now for analytical quality, there are 4 criteria which you have given in your ballot. Fair. So once you hear the speech, you decide where you want to place that speaker. Should they be in the fair category, 0 to 16? Is he or she good? He or she very good or excellent? So once you feel that where you have to place them, for example, you find that okay, it's very good, then you decide in which area you have to place from 28 to 39. So this is how we evaluate. Then the next is recommendations. Recommendations is something to give practical, positive, and specific ways to improve. So, an evaluator will have many recommendations to give. He should be giving some examples. Let's say, for example, again, let's take regarding the voice modulation. The voice modulation was not up to par. And he goes to the next point. It should not be like that. He should give some recommendations like where he could have used that voice modulation in that speech. And he should explain to it and how it can be done. Like he should work it out or play it out, something like that. If it's regarding the body language, something like that. So those recommendations, so the speaker can take that recommendations and he can use it for next speeches. And those recommendations should be demonstrated. and it should be positive in tone also. So the next, the marks for it is a total of 30 marks. So you have 4 categories: fair, good, very good, and excellent. So same thing, you place them where you want, where you feel he or she best fits, and give them that mark. Next is technique. Technique is the manner in which the evaluator presents comments and recommendations. So we said in the beginning, an evaluator should lift the speaker. So this is where it mainly comes into play. So what you have to look for is that you have to put yourself in the shoes of the speaker, and you have to see that if the evaluator has motivated you to put that recommendations into play or something like that. So he should be sensitive to the feelings and needs of the speaker, and the evaluator should be inspiring and encourage the speaker to take that improvements, and he should be respectful and motivational. So technique is 15 marks. So we have very good 11 to 14, good 6 to 10, and fair 0 to 5. Now summation. Summation is how the evaluator concludes the evaluation. So this is one of the main thing, especially who was going for a contest. Sometimes because of lack of time or something, sometimes they miss to do the summation. So they will completely lose that 15 marks. This is what happens. So you have to, the evaluator has to have a summarize like how whatever they said good and the points of improvement, he should have a summarized one. So briefly summarize the evaluator's comments and suggestions. And that too, it should leave him motivated. And another one thing which judges make a lot of mistakes in this area is that most of the time maybe the evaluators might have summarized it, but they might not have used the word, let me summarize it, or concluding, and they would have summarized it, but the judges might be thinking that they didn't summarize. So whenever an evaluator has retreated or went back and again repeated what they have said, positives and the points of improvement, that means he or she has summarized. So do not miss this point. So summation is again excellent, total of 15 marks, excellent 15, very good 11 to 14, good 6 to 10, and fair 0 to 5. Now in a nutshell, analytical 40%, what you need to keep in mind is that the evaluator has identified the strengths and weaknesses. The recommendations is give practical recommendations. Then the technique is delivering is motivational and sympathetic. Summation, it should be a concise recap of whole evaluation which he did. Clear? So this is how it is. Now some things to remember. As a judge, what you have to do is that you need to listen carefully the test speech. Now, okay, this one thing which I missed out to say is that how an evaluation contest take place for the new people who are doing the judging first time. So there will be a test speech. First, there will be a test speech. All the contestants who is doing the evaluation will be sitting, and the test speech will be there, and he will perform the speech. Then the evaluators will have some time to do his evaluation, and they will be taken out. And one by one will be called in to do the evaluation. That's how it is done. So what as a judge you have to do is that you have to listen to the test speech, and you have to note down what are the positives and points of improvements from your side as well. Then later on, when the evaluators comes and speaks, it is good that you note down that they have covered these points. And one more thing is that how many positives of points of improvement each of them has done. So if you note down that one, later on if you want to go back and check or something, and if there's a tie or something, you can go back and see that tally and you can decide. Then the next thing which you need to remember is that you should be fair, objective, and encouraging. use the ballot paper properly. And if you go behind the ballot, what all I have said now, it is available there. Even though how many times you have judged before, every time you go for a judging, please read it one more time. It is good to refresh these criteria every time. Then write your name and sign the ballot. This is very important. This first place, second place, the previous trainer has already explained. The tiebreaker also is the same as the previous trainer explained. Important thing is that you need to sign and write your name before giving it to the ballot counter. Else, your ballot will be not be considered. So now we had a speech in the before session. We had a video played. So we have one of our Toastmasters here. She'll be doing a mock evaluation for you. So you can all take up your ballot sheets and do your judging for her. Are you ready? Let's do it. I think nobody, no coffee for. Okay, great. So our evaluator, the mock contestant today is Toastmaster Munamois. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Munamois.
Testing. No testing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Timer, please. Yeah.
Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and my star storyteller for the day, Toastmaster Vikas. You tickled our bones today with that delightful story. I saw you. I was with you at the Taj Mahal while you were looking at it, while you were reaching for your wallet, and you couldn't believe you couldn't find your wallet at one point. Toastmaster Vikas, today you showed us how to incorporate humor in a speech so effectively, so naturally, when you said, my wife wouldn't let me forget about it. Or that was usually the second question that people asked me. These were all things that made us listen to your speech. Secondly, you are such a visual storyteller and a descriptive storyteller at that. Every time you mentioned an event or you mentioned something that happened, the way you reached into your wallet, the phone call from your mother telling about the demise of your uncle, we were there with you and we could feel that moment with you. So kudos to you on that. Now, having all these characteristics of being such a good storyteller, you want to make sure that your message comes through to the audience. And that is where I would like to offer you some recommendations. The first one, your message was clear in that you wanted to tell all of us that we should live in the moment. We should experience the moment. You missed out on living, watching the Taj Mahal, the touch of the marble, the smell. And you later on, with your uncle, also you realized that you hadn't spent enough time with him or you hadn't lived those moments with him and maybe other moments in your life. But for me, I felt the description of your stories, first when you are at the Taj Mahal and later on when your mother called you about the demise, that took more time in your speech rather than the amount of time you spent telling us how you didn't live in the moment with your uncle and how that made you feel that we are not experiencing life, we are just looking for the wallet. I felt more time should be spent on that part. Secondly, your body language and your movement on stage, even though it was very, very apt, sometimes it was unwanted and irrelevant. For example, when you were narrating the time where you were standing in line for the drink, why not stand in one place without running around and say it? In essence, your humor is great and you're such a visual storyteller. My recommendation to you is concentrate more on the ending part where you tell us the message more clearly and reduce unwanted movement. And you will go far as a storyteller. Contest chair.
Thank you. A big round of applause, please. So you have 3 minutes to fill up your ballots. Okay, 1 minute. Time has been reduced to 1 minute. Show that QR code. So once you have done with your evaluation, just scan this QR code and give in your results to this QR code. Done? Hello? Done? Who was still yet to do, please? All done? Yeah.
Into the school. Yeah. This is average is not shown, only the. We have only 21 responses, so I think still we have more yet. Let's- Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay. No, no, check 1 minute later. Not individual results. Need summary. So let's start with the analytical quality. We will see the scores now. So you can share, so if you have anything to share, you can share your, this is working, right? Hello? Yeah. If you can give your feedbacks of what you feel regarding the analytical quality of the speaker today. Nobody has to share anything. She was good. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everybody. I believe she gave a very well-rounded the analytical part where she analyzed the entire speech of the speaker. So that was really good. For me, it was in the very good category. And even mentioning the initial part from the time that she liked the opening, she gave us examples of the humor. Then she also took us through how, through his gestures, he was always constantly in the pocket. So all those parts were really well done, I believe. And recommendation, should I go for that, or you want to still stick with me?
Give your feedback.
Yeah,
No problem.
okay. The recommendations, I believe that was also what I was thinking in my mind, so it was perfectly apt, I believe. Because I did feel that he spent a lot of time explaining, that was the metaphor, basically, the Taj Mahal and everything, and his trip there, but he spent most of the time there, so he had less time. And then there was a very short part, maybe medium part about the death, and then the takeaway was in a very short and quickly done, which he should have spent maybe a little more, which was very happily done, I believe. And then there was the secondary recommendation also that she gave, I believe, was about yeah, the stage, yeah. I also felt that, and maybe the unnecessary. There was little bit distraction I felt in terms of the moment, which she did mention when drinking, and I would have added one more point, which I did in the beginning when. So when you heard about the death, at least take that moment, go into one corner, and then describe the part about the home. You know, when he was talking about how he spent his childhood, so that would have been a corner where he was looking at in terms of his uncle's house or whatever. So that I would have added at the most. And yes, technique was not very, what was the word? More sympathetic. She was not sugarcoating. She was okay with the technique, I believe, not sugarcoating and not very sympathetic also. It was just in between. And she summarized well, I believe. So it was a well done, well-rounded evaluation.
Thank you very much. Anybody has to add anything else? No?
I should congratulate you, Mona, for doing a very demonstrative what is actually an evaluation speech. You had a very good opening, and in the analytics, you picked up really two things. What was good about it, what they could have done better. Maybe if I were you, I would have talked about how he captivated the audience because his humor was really connected to the audience. But you did touch upon humor. And your areas of improvement also, I believe, you presented it very well. Like Shana said, on your recommendations were also there, but on technique, I felt you were a little harsh on it. Maybe if you had praised him for his ability to connect with the audience, maybe if you had praised him for his body language, where he demonstrated losing his wallet and how his attention was
Just
lost,
that
might
even
have compensated him
one
for that.
like
And you
one
concluded that.
one
I
what do
think
you call it,
for
one
all the
mark
youngsters who want to learn how to do that.
summary of
I
everything
think
for each.
Example of how to do it.
Thank you. Now, were you able to identify that Toastmaster Mona, how she summarized? She didn't use the word summarizing or concluding. Correct? You were able to identify. Great, great. Thank you. So, technical people are still working on the average marks.
For the transition, the way she transitioned, gave clarity on that she's going to.
Yes, correct. So, as a judge, we have a great responsibility of giving them the correct marks for this one. So, you need to be vigilant. Main thing I would like to focus again is that you need to listen properly for the test speech. Then each speaker take notes. This is very important. So are we ready with the? So this is analytical. Analytical, we have a total of 30, right? So 30 out of 50, 40. Okay. Recommendations. The next. Recommendations also 30. Okay.
So the scores are given in the site.
Okay. So these are the scores. So we have majority has given 25. Am I right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Technique. Majority has given 12 out of 15. Then summation. I think it's not. Analytical is okay. Analytical summation, I think the last. Yeah, analytical we have majority has given 35. 8% has given 35. So we have summary, maybe summary is missing. Anyways, I think you got the crust of how to judge it. Yes.
Just want to make a mention. Because the marks doesn't mean anything, because there might be stingy people, there might be generous, there might be strict people. But the point is, you have to be strict across all your 8 contestants. If you are a strict judge, be strict across all the 10 genders. If you're a generous person, be generous across. What counts is who is your best three. So don't look at this ones, because here you're a mixture of all the generous and the stingy and the good ones.
Thank you, Philip sir. So that's it, presentation. So that comes to the end of my presentation here. So what you have to keep in mind is that you are not actually judging the evaluator, his performance or anything. You have to judge how he helped the speaker. So that's all. I hope I have helped you out. If you have any doubts, we have how many minutes we can give them? No minutes. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can contact me or you can contact Toastmaster Naila. Okay. Thank you. Back to.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajmal, for that wonderful session. Now, moving on, we have the humorous speech contest judging. To take us through this session, we have a passionate Toastmaster from since June 2006. He is the first Division F Director, an ambassador for Pathways Learning Experience, and past Area 28 Governor. Since 2012, he is the counselor for Doha and Burla Gavel clubs. He is the Division E champion for table topics and evaluation categories. He has served in the Indian and Qatari Navy for 15 years, currently working as the head of After Sales Service Department at Gulf Income Taisir Group. So let's put our hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Anil Nayak.
Am I visible? Thank you. Pointer. This one. Humorous. Humorous picture. No, I sent to Shweta. She will send to. Can you ask her? You want a USB? No. You need a USB? Can you send it or? Send it. This is the only time you get to laugh. So be my guest. And the presenter did a good job by preparing you all, because I don't like disturbance, because I'm from the military background. So he has prepared you generally to just keep quiet and accept whatever I say today. Right? Wrong. It's entirely up to you to accept. Still there. Entirely up to you to accept this. And this is a learning session. Both you and I, we are going to learn something out of this. And that's our primary objective, right? To learn something new. And it's a mutually beneficial experience. And I see it as a mutually learning experience as well. So thank you to the organizers for giving me the opportunity, and to all of you who are sitting so patiently and who have been a wonderful audience so far. I'm glad that knowing that I'm going to be the next presenter, most of you haven't left. I'm thankful to you for that. Now, where did all this begin? Many a times, I'm sure you would have gone for some contest or the other, especially one where your children participate, right? And then what happens? You come out feeling that the judges didn't do a good job, right? Unfortunately, that's one aspect of it, and it need not be true all the time. Just because my son did not win the contest doesn't mean the judges are bad. Just because my friend didn't win the contest, it doesn't mean the judges are bad. Just because I didn't win, it doesn't mean that the judges were bad. To avoid all this, today the district has attempted to educate all of you on the finer aspects of judging, and I am part of the team doing it. My section, of course, is the humorous speech contest judging, which we will start now. Or has it already started? It has. Now, since you know a lot about judging, you may have been reminded of all those things. Let's see how we can get over those things today. The first thing, before you start anything, you should know the purpose. Just as I stated the purpose, when you go in for a judging, you must rise above everything. You have to be in a position where you see each and every aspect clearly. If you don't do that, you're probably doing a disservice to all those contestants, the organizers, and the audience. Because everybody is counting on you. They cannot come in and judge. You are representing us as a judge. And so it becomes your responsibility to do a good job. And I'm going to try and help you do that in the best way possible. So rise above everything and let's see how we get going. It's not going to rise. It refuses to rise. Oh, this side. Okay. Fine. Now, whenever I go for a humorous contest, the people, everyone, the audience and all, they look at me and say, this guy with these looks, humorous? He doesn't even bother to smile. I even got a comment. I wonder, how his wife is lived with him for so long. Well, I have nothing to do with this. If at all, this is a manufacturing defect, which I am not responsible for. So you have to give me that. Now, what are the purposes of a speech contest? We heard a lot about this, and I reiterate once more. To provide opportunities. To who? You can answer, please, feel free. To us, who us?
Everyone.
Contestants and Toastmasters and the audience, because everyone in the audience is not a Toastmaster. So the audience, each and everyone, it gives an opportunity for what? To learn. What else? To become a better public speaker. Yes. To laugh. Yes. Nobody's laughing. Anything else? Great. So it's a wonderful opportunity for everyone, for the contestants, especially to perform in a competitive environment. You may practice that speech hundreds of times in your house with your friends and everywhere. And because people are very friendly, they show a lot of appreciation and laugh at you out of kindness or whatever. But when it comes to the stage, it's a totally different story. Now, I too had this experience. In our school, we used to have like a joke session. So I was very enthusiastic about it. And then I used to go there. We had this joke book. I used to read from that. And when I finished, the audience and me, we were looking at each other. Because nobody understood the joke. And probably I didn't say it in a way they understood. And then can I say the judges are bad? No. There it is. Practice competitive speaking, learning by observing others. You also have access to interesting educational programs during the contest. If it's a area contest, division, district, and so on. In the club level, we want to save time. We want to just finish and go home. So sometimes even if you are winning, you just go home and somebody calls you, I got your trophy, okay, you keep it and I'll take it next time. We are that, we don't even have the time to take our trophies. Now, do the judges have any obligation? To whom? Themselves, okay. Who else? That's all?
Contestants.
Contestants, yes. And?
Chief Judge.
Chief Judge. Well,
Audience.
that's part of the team. Anyone else?
Audience.
Audience, yes. That's why I wrote all stakeholders. Each and every person involved in that contest is a stakeholder. So you owe that to all of them. It's not just come in, you get a call from the VP Education. Hello, can you come and judge this week? Where is it? Okay, here. What is the time? Okay, I'll come. And then you rush from the office. And then while you're judging, you're half asleep. So you miss some of the speeches. But since you know the speaker from before, okay, this guy is good. Let me, give him more marks. So what if I didn't hear properly? And so on. You're not paying attention. That's bad. You should never get into a situation if you're not in control. If you're not awake, if you're not alert, you should not take up that job. Ever. See, it may be just about obliging somebody, but remember always, whenever you take the stage as a speaker or whenever you take the role as a judge, your credibility is at stake. I cannot emphasize this more, but this is very important. Your credibility is very important, and you have to keep it that way. Don't just make, go with the wind kind of attitude. This is a serious job. Don't ever do that. So whenever you take up a role, it should be with a purpose and with the right direction. Now, have we been a victim of this? How dreadful it is when the right judge judges wrong. Probably you've been a victim of this, or probably somebody whom you know has been a victim of this. Many a time, everybody knows who the winner is, but somebody else walks away with the trophy. And what a feeling it is. First thing, I would urge all of you aspiring judges to at least take part in one contest. And probably it should be a prepared speech contest. Not necessarily humorous. It can be an international speech as well. Go through the process, go through the pain, write that speech, prepare, practice, and then present. And then wait for the results. It is only then I feel that you will be actually able to do justice to your judgment. Having gone through all that process, having put all the efforts, and then going on stage and presenting it, very nervous. In spite of that, you overcome that and then you do it. That's when you will realize what a contestant goes through and what it means for you to do the job right. Is judging the same as evaluating? Yes?
No.
No, many are nodding head, so I thought that's yes. Because probably you guys saw the speech last week and nod yes and nod no. Just nod. How many of you saw the WCPS speech? Wow, very good. Let's give a big round of applause to all that effort that went into that contest and all of you who could spare the time to watch it and derive value from that. Definitely, evaluating and judging are two different things. What is judging? Someone? What is the purpose of judging? Okay. Anyone?
To get out a clear winner for the contest.
Yes. To pick a clear winner. Do you do that in evaluation?
No, just get feedback.
In an evaluation, everybody is a winner, right? But in a judging, everybody is, at least on paper, for the contest sake, is not a winner. But in real sense, it is. For the sake of the contest, one winner. We pick clear winners, right? Okay. So judging is selecting a winner, not many winners, a winner. So you have to be clear who's the first, second, third, and so on down the line. Because when it comes to a tie-breaking judge, you cannot have a tie on your tie sheet itself. You cannot have 2 second, 2, all are my friends, let me make 2 first, 2 second, 2, and 5, 10 people, and like you just have 5 results. It should never be that way. You have to give a clear rating. If there are 10 contestants, 1 to 10, irrespective of everything else. You cannot have a tie on your sheet. Remember that always. Any of you could be picked up to become a tie-breaking speech in any contest. So be prepared for this. Evaluating is appraising and giving advice for improvement. So there's a huge difference here. Do not mistake one for the other and go and do it. I have seen judges come and sit down, they take lots of papers. I'm going to evaluate every speaker. Is that a good speech, good approach? Why? Why should a judge not evaluate?
Areas that he has to follow in terms of judging, so those criteria need to be answered.
Absolutely. Anything else? Why a judge should not be evaluating the speakers at the same time? Wasting time, okay. What else? Lose the objectivity. Yes. To avoid any, yes, of course, yes. Anyone? Criteria are different. Perfect. Anything more? I'm not the only one who's going to speak today. You're going to get bored if you're going to do this. We're just going to be silent, both of us, and then that's it. We can go away faster. Well, the point is, the moment you try to do something else other than your main purpose, you are getting distracted. You are so focused on the evaluation that, like she rightfully said, the judging criteria will be ignored totally. You are not here to evaluate, you are here to judge. Focus on the judging criteria, do a good job, and that's it. Afterwards, if you get a recording or if you want to still sit down and think, then you can do something later on. But during the judging, your only job is to judge, focus on the speaker, give him your full attention, and make sure that you do not miss anything. Judges' decisions are confidential and final. Remember this always. If you are a judge or a chief judge for that matter, the chief judge has got the results. Chief judge and the ballot counters may know the results. It is confidential. And you have to maintain that till the time it is announced and even beyond. No matter what, even if the winner is your best friend or somebody you know or whatever it may be, do not under any compulsion reveal the results before it is announced. It is of paramount importance that you maintain your integrity while you are judging. It's very important. Nobody tells you in writing, but it is expected. If you do not have the integrity to go through and be a judge, don't take up this role. What do good judges do? Come on. I can see many of you sleeping, but I don't allow that, Now, very soon we're going to start jogging for a change. Yes, tell me. Sorry? Listen, yes, listen, yes. They are good listeners. Yes, anything? Avoid biases, yes. Observe. Anything else? All right, I have something on this. Good judges, can you read that for me, ma'am?
Good judges inspire others with their commitment to fairness and justice.
fairness and justice. You have to be fair in your judgment. It is very important. Don't sentence somebody to death with your unfair views. It can happen. There are many Toastmasters who are wonderful, gifted speakers who are no longer in Toastmasters because of a single factor. You know it. Bad judging. A group of judges get together and this guy is from my club. He becomes first. He goes to the area, division, district, and so on. Don't ever do that. And I tell you this, District 116 or anywhere in the world, any place, wherever it is, they will never see a champion speaker if they don't do a good job at judging. So you have a responsibility to create a champion. And if you don't choose the right person, or if you reject speakers, good speakers for the wrong reasons, then if you are somewhere responsible in that whole process for not creating that good speaker. You have to read the rule book. You're too busy, too much work in the office, auditing, year ending, stock taking, whatever, or you have some business other than that to take care. And I know the rules, and that's it. If you don't know what are the rules, you just go to someone, ask them, and they tell you something, half you understand, and the other half you don't even hear, and then you come and judge. Is there anything wrong with this slide?
Yes.
The lady.
It's
What
the
happened to
old-
the lady?
It's the old one.
Exactly. I put that up deliberately. I wanted to see how many of you are still awake. So what does it say? June 30, 2025. So it's obsolete now. We have a new rule book with last year's winner. Who's that? Luisa Montalvo. Yeah. From Texas, I guess. Right. No? From? Sorry? You can say loudly. I won't mark you down. Don't worry. I don't have a judging sheet here. So be aware that you are reading the latest rule book, not an outdated one. Why should you know the rules? Why should you know the rules? One at a time so that everyone can care. If you can just one person, yeah. Karnataka Toastmasters, you want to say something? No? Yes, anyone? To judge correctly, okay. One person at a time, yeah. Somebody here? This side is very silent here. I don't know. You guys are sleeping or still with me here? Still here. Good. Anyone here? To know what you're doing? I missed something here. Yeah. Select the best person. Okay. You said something. No? To do justice? Yes, of course. Absolutely right.
To implement the rule.
To implement
The rule.
the rule? Yes, of course. Besides all this, I have a few points on this one. First, as a judge, you will have the confidence to walk into that room and do your judging. If you don't know the rules, what are you going to judge by? How are you going to disqualify somebody? That's part of your job, right? To lodge a protest and to bring the matter to the chief judge. You should be aware of the changes. Every year we are getting some changes or the other. I leave it to you to go through the rule book and find out the changes and update yourself. Avoid confusion. Most of the time what happens, you go to some senior Toastmaster, some of them come to me, they ask, what is this? They ask some doubts and all. I'll tell them my take on that. And it's possible that I'm not aware of the new rule and it may be an outdated version I'm giving you. You take it for the gospel, you go there and make a mess of the competition. So be careful of this one. Now, judge's guide. What is a judge's guide? Something that will help the judge do the job. In simple terms, right? So what could be a judge's guide? Some of the things that will guide the judge. Please. The ballot, yes. Anything else? Criteria, okay. Training. Okay, fine. Louder, please. To know the eligibility, yes, but I don't think judges are going to do that. That will be taken care of by the contest. That's part of the rules. It should be applied to the contest, definitely. One of the most important thing is the same yardstick. The same yardstick. Whatever you measure should be measured using the same unit. For example, you measure somebody's height and you measure it in inches. If you have done that for the first speaker, you do it to the last speaker. You measure only in inches. Somewhere down the line, don't switch to centimeters. Get the idea? They're very similar. They do the same job, but if you are measuring by some yardstick, stick to it always. The same yardstick throughout your contest. You can take down notes. Again, this is not evaluation. This is for your reference. And when you take down notes, for example, the person, it's about the gestures. Make sure that you also note down the gestures of all the others. Don't just write for one and forget about the rest. Whatever you note down, make it consistent throughout. Use suggested points. You have the ballot, the judges guide and ballot which is given to you. You have it. You can use that. Use other points. Maybe there are some other things which you like. Probably the guy is, giving out a story. So how was the story of all the speakers, for example? Did it sound real? Is it credible? And so on. Everything is not written there, but some of the things need to be considered while you are judging. Clarity of purpose. Clarity of purpose of what? Yes, clarity. Okay, your purpose as well as the purpose of the speaker. What was he trying to do? What is the purpose of his speech? If you are noting down that purpose, then write down for every speaker, and at the end of it, check out whether it's in line with what you are measuring. Does it add up to your measurements? Now, this is an important thing. You all have it. Judges Guide and Ballot, which we use for all the judging. I'm going to break it down into specifics. And before I do that, there's one thing that you need to know. At the bottom, there's a judge's official ballot and the place for signature. I would suggest that the moment you take this, make sure you sign, put your name and sign on it. That way you will never forget. The thing is, in the end, you're rushed. You need more time to judge. Most of the time, even I've made that mistake in the past. You do everything, but you forget to sign, just stare it and give it off. Give me, come on, there's no time. And that guy is standing over your head and you have to do it. You may lose it. So first thing, when you get it, write your name, sign it. And do not share this result with anybody. It is for your eyes only. You're the only one entitled to see this. You owe no explanation to anybody in this world. Toastmasters International has empowered us with this. So when it comes to the judging categories, what do we have? First is content. We always say content is the king. Then you have the delivery, how it was delivered. You have language. Anything else? These are the three parts of that judging ballot which you need to consider. And then when it comes to your 55 marks are there for the content. We always say content is the king, and that adds true even for the humorous speech, 55 marks. So you have development, effectiveness, value, and audience response to consider. So what about development? Well, you've all heard a story once upon a time, and then in the end, the king and queen married and they went off to a faraway land. So did it come out in that pattern? Was it smooth? Did he take you on a bumpy ride, or were you confused along the way? Did that happen? So you need to be aware of these things. And the same yardstick to be used for all the contestants. Remember that. So whenever you finish putting the marks for one contestant, go back, look at that. I always do that. I go back and read speech development, structure, organization, support material. How much was it? I put some marks. Same thing goes for all the others. I follow the same thing. That way, what happens? It becomes a consistent effort throughout. And one important thing you need to also note here, the last one, audience response, like the international speaker always, he did half of my training and went away. So he has cut short my work. Thank you to him. He's not here. I will thank him later on. Audience response can be faked. Sometimes the speaker will come and tell you, you know, when I ask this question, either you have to answer something or they'll say you should laugh. When I ask you some question, laugh. And then that's, you know, one group of people here under the leadership of Toastmaster Philip. You know, he will be leading them, and when he raises his hand, everybody laughs. So similar, some sort of signal, you know, could be anything. So be aware of this. Make sure that the response is genuine. And you can make out. If you think it's funny, then, and people are laughing, probably that's the way you can probably judge it. Or you can see, probably you were not hearing properly, somebody heard it, and everybody is laughing. That's again a good sign. So probably that's a genuine laughter that you get, response. Otherwise, you need to be very careful. In the delivery, you have 30 marks. Physical, already it's been spoken of. Voice, of course, the modulation part, loud, soft, and then the rate, how fast. Maybe when they're excited, they speak very fast. When they are talking of something serious or sad, you know, they lower the voice. Or before saying something, they will pause and then tell you something important. So if that happens, you need to pay attention and focus on that, mark them accordingly. Manner means what? Directness, assurance, and enthusiasm. Was the speaker enthusiastic? And the same question for all the speakers. What about directness? Was he credible enough to tell you the truth, or was he hiding behind something and faking it? Could be anything. You have to judge, find out that one. Language, again, it's been, you know very well, appropriateness and correctness of grammar. You have to look at all the speakers with the same pair of glasses. Don't wear one for one person and then take out and put another one and, you know, see something else. Judging criteria, awareness. Before you go to the contest, please read this, understand it thoroughly, and then it will be easier for you to mark the contestants. One of the most important thing here is judges' code of ethics. Objectivity. What is objectivity? It means unbiased and impartial. That means you will judge everyone on the same level, with the same yardstick, with the same glasses. You do not have different judging criteria for different contestants. Favoritism. My friend, my club mate, my schoolmate, my past girlfriend, my future husband. These things, you better keep them at home when you come and judge. Conflict of interest. What is conflict of interest? You have to help me. We are not going ahead otherwise. Please.
We don't like the concept what he's saying. Like he's trying to say something.
Okay.
And we don't agree to that point.
Okay, so you will mark him down. No.
Like I'm judging my own person.
Okay. So you give them more marks. Yes. But if it's the other way around and they had a fight, your boyfriend is finished. So conflict of interest could be anything. Many times I have gone to contests as judges and I have backed off at the last minute. Do you know why? Because I had, sorry? How did you know? I didn't tell you. Thank you so much. Exactly, this has been the reason, and this has happened to me at least 3 or 4 times. I go there, I find that the guy, I don't know which club person is, and I'm like helping him with the speech. I know that I'll do a good job in spite of that, but we are human, and I owe it to everyone, all the other contestants. So I move out. I tell them I can do some other role. Even Sergeant at Arms is fine with me. but because of this. And this needs to be particularly taken care of in contest. Can you tell me which contest? No.
Prepared speech. Prepared speeches.
Prepared speech. No, that's not the answer. Division and district. It is particularly important that the judge is not from the same club as the speaker. In area, they don't say it, but division and district, it is particularly pointed out. So be very careful, whoever is the contest chair and so on, when you select, make a note of this one. Time. I'm the judge. So one guy, it took about 10 minutes. I was bored of the speech. Minus, kalas, gone. Another guy speaks only for 3-4 minutes. So he's too less. He should have spoken more. Is that your job? You are not to consider the time, whether it is less, more, whatever it may be. It is not your job. So don't waste your time on that. Don't focus on that. Don't get distracted with that. So what is not your job? Don't do it. Support. Who will the judges support? The contestant from the club? No. Who? Who should we support as judges? Chief judge, okay. Anybody else? Contest manager, okay. Any good contestant? Support?
All the speakers.
Of course. So we support everyone equally. As a judge, you have to support the contest as a whole. No ifs, buts, or whatever. You didn't like something in the contest, go out and then call 10 people, I went to this club and, they did this and that and, don't defame those poor guys. If you can, instead of calling those 10 people, call that one person in the club, give him your genuine feedback and help them to improve it next time. I do that often. If there's something I like very much, I make it a point to tell them. And if not, I call them up maybe the same day, night or next day or whatever it is and tell them. Why? My purpose is to help them improve, not to bring them down. By bringing me down, I don't become great. Right? So you, as a judge, you have this responsibility. Very few, you're probably not aware of it or you haven't read the rules or whatever. It's possible that you missed. So I'm just reiterating it for you. And what do you avoid? Is there something the judges should avoid?
Bias.
Talking with the contestants? Not really. There's no rule saying you cannot. Yes, sir. Not to the contestant. I said if you don't like the contest, don't badmouth it because you owe it to the organizers. You are part of the team organizing it. So you don't have to do anything with the contest. You don't have to give any feedback. You're not obliged to give any feedback to anyone. If you want, if you feel like it, make a difference by giving suggestions. You got to avoid what? Bias, favoritism, all those things. Remember this always. And one more thing to avoid is not to badmouth the contest when it's over. So, how dreadful it is. Just to reiterate, the fun can be had, but not at somebody's expense. It's okay, you have a tea party or whatever party, late into the night and you go overboard and you start like a lot of things. That's your personal thing in your house, but not in public. Definitely not. Why? Because whatever you do in Toastmasters, there are some basic rules you have to follow. It doesn't matter what you're doing. What are they? We have some guiding principles.
Integrity.
Respect. Excellent.
Integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Maybe, but if you have agreed to be a part of this organization, you cannot run away from the guiding guidelines of the organization. You are an ambassador of the organization and you need to uphold that always, the values of Toastmasters. You can't run away. It is not a selective thing. Thinking is difficult, so that's why most people judge. Is that true? No? Yes? Great. So, all of you, if you are aspiring Toastmasters, if you are aspiring contestants, don't look at judging as an escape route. Make sure you also, it's a privilege available to you. You don't get this opportunity anywhere else. Your office doesn't say, okay, come tomorrow, give a humorous speech. You do that, the boss will throw you out the next day or on the spot. But here you get wonderful opportunities. Make use of every opportunity and grow as a leader and as a speaker. Now, at this point, I was somewhere along last minute told, okay, whatever it is. There's a scope for a demo speech. So I'll just, can we make this blank? Yeah, just press B. Press B on that. Yeah. So whenever you want to make a presentation blank, just press B on your laptop. That's something new. Not this is extra. I charge extra for this tip. So coming down to the humorous speech, it is not prepared, but let's begin. Contestant number 5. Title of the speech, Me, My Wife, and the Snake. Me, My Wife, and the Snake, contestant number 5. Do you know who's the most inspiring Toastmaster in a club? Who's the one who inspires you to do your speeches?
VPE.
The VP education. But when it comes to a contest, it's the contest manager. And I get a call saying that you should come and give a humorous speech. I said, me, just like you guys are asking now. I said, why not? He said, why not? I said, okay, fine. So what's the title of the speech? I sent it to him. Me, my wife, and the snake. Immediately he writes back. Who's the most poisonous? I said, you guess. The journey started from there and developed into a speech. It was pitch dark in my bedroom and the curtains were closed. But there was a little light, in between those curtains peeping through, and I was sleeping. Now, the same day, I had an accident. I was walking in the garden and all of a sudden, something bit me and I jumped. It was a cat. I stepped on the tail and it took revenge. It grabbed my leg, bit it, and even dared to stare at me afterwards. And all I could see was there's nothing much to be done. My friends were there. They rushed me to the hospital. And they're all wondering, why are you in the emergency? And I had to literally show them. I got bitten here. I said, what happened? Cat bit. Ha ha ha. What? You mad? You don't you walk with your eyes closed? Why did you do this one? I said, what did I do? The cat bit me. He did the treatment, gave me injection for 6 weeks. And all the tablets that he gave me, I ate. And then after that, after some time, the effect started getting in. The pain reduced. But then I could see some pain in my wife's eyes. She's saying, you're looking like a ferocious cat. The eyes were red and, literally all angry and stuff. That's the way I am always. So I didn't know what was the change. Finally, I lie down and within some time, I fall asleep. After some time, we heard something. I woke up. I said, who's snoring? It was me. And my wife also confirmed that. Then again, I fell asleep. After a while, I hear a commotion. My wife runs out of the room, banging the door, and I suddenly wake up from there. I said, what happened? Totally confused. Just like you're looking at me confused. Same thing. It was exactly the same feeling. I share your feeling. And then after some time, I see my son opening the door, peeping in, and comes in, and followed by my wife. And I'm still wondering what happened. Then she tells me that, she's very upset We have to give her a lot of water, calm her down, sit down, relax. You know how you are when you're scared and stuff like. Then I said, what happened? She said, there's a snake in the room. I said, where? No, it was here. I saw a snake in the bedroom. I just looked at her. Now, this is the same wife who always tells everyone, she boasts, I want the same husband for my next 7 lives. What about this one? You left me at the mercy of a snake and you ran out? I don't believe this. But that was the situation. Probably she follows the instructions of other ladies, especially the air hostess who always tells, put on your mask first before. Exactly. So she thought she had to help herself first and me later. And she forgot all about the 7 other lives in future. Doesn't matter. And I was still confused. How did we arrive at this? Like you, still confused, right? Then it all dawned on me. While I was sleeping, my hand was raised. Actually, it was like this. It was on my stomach. And as I was breathing, it was going up and down, up and down. And then at some point, it came down. That's the time she ran out of the room. I don't blame her. I would have done probably the same thing. So the moral of the story is very simple. When you are in the bedroom sleeping, keep your hands to yourself. Don't let it wander around. And definitely don't keep it like this. Because in the end, you could either end up in disaster or a speech topic like mine. Contest chair. Now that's the power of a humorous speech. You've seen it. I don't know how many of you are judging. If you can probably note down a few points, mark there, give you 2 minutes, and then quickly we can have a small discussion and some question answers on that. Two minutes time. Please note. What happened? Go back. Sorry, I don't know. Are you going for the QR code or something? Just do it for yourself. We'll save time. So just do it and then you want to do it that way?
For the form.
Okay. If you don't have the form, then you can take it from the QR code. Otherwise, we can just continue. So 1 minute, we'll cut that down to 1 minute and then we continue. Timer 1 minute. Done. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.75, 1.5. It's a mock. I mean, I'm not going to be winner today, so don't be worried. Even if you mark me down, it's fine. But this is for you to practice in a real scenario, that's all. So my advice to you today, or what you want to take away from this session is, you need to rise and soar. Soar with the confidence to conduct a wonderful judging at any contest. Make sure you get the rules right. Make sure that you're confident of what you have to do. Focus on the contestants. Make sure that your judging is fair. You judge by the same yardstick. and judge every contestant in the same manner. If you don't do that, you will never be consistent. So you need to be consistent in your judging, and definitely people will recognize that. And you don't have to tell, I'm a good judge, I know the rules, I'm doing all this. When your judging is out, people will know. Sadly, I have been a chief judge at many contests over the years. And one thing that always saddens me is sometimes the speaker who hasn't performed well in any way is marked the first place because of some consideration that judge has given to that person. I can understand somewhere coming in the second, third, and so on, I mean, third or probably fourth or whatever, but giving that person the first position is a disservice to the others. You are disrespecting the efforts that all the other contestants have put towards performing at this contest. And I'm sure and I hope that all of you will go out there and do a wonderful job with the judging to ensure that we do not have a complaint about the quality of the judging. Happy judging. All the very best. If you have any questions, we can take it for the next 5 minutes. Any questions? Yes.
Sir, is mimicry allowed
Blank.
in humorous speech forms?
Is there a rule saying it's not allowed?
No, sir, mimicking community, like you mimic with the way you snore,
Yes.
that is allowed. Is it allowed to speak, like I am a Kannadiga and our Hindi will be little as a South Indian accent, so targeting, telling like a Kannadiga speaks like this, is it allowed or it is not? That is just for the morale of me, I'm asking.
I understand. I got your question. Let me just ask you another question. When in doubt, what do you refer to? Rule book? What else?
The ballot.
The values, Toastmaster values. Are you in some way infringing those? Respect is one of the values. By your speech, are you disrespecting a person, community, country, race, and so on? If yes, then that's where you stop. You take it out. You take it out of the speech. So that's where your integrity should be higher than the rules. It's up to you to maintain the dignity of the contest at any point. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I'm new to Toastmaster.
Yes.
I have one doubt whether the content really matters in humorous. Is it like there should be a take-home message or really a value that you add to the speech, or just like a mimicry, make it somebody go?
Go back to the criteria.
See that.
Exactly. So then you do not judge by the message.
There's something called appropriate.
That's different. That's different. It's not a message. Nobody says that you have to give a message in humorous. Nobody says. But people do it all the time. Judges get carried away. This person gave a message, that person did not give a message. It's up to you. As a concluding statement to just make it funny, that's fine. Otherwise, not really required. So that should not be a criteria for judging. That's what. If you choose to judge a speech by the message, then you have to do that for all the other contestants as well. Whatever you do it consistently for all.
Sir, you were talking about the respect, right?
Yes.
But in most of the speeches of humorous, they are disrespecting the wives. Why the jokes on the wives only? That is not fair, right?
Yeah, not fair. Yeah. I think Sanjay would like to answer that one. Why you always joke about your wife?
Even you do.
Me?
Yeah, you just.
I did I? Okay. So that is definitely with her consent. It has to be, I mean, it's not about degrading her or anything. It's something we carved out, but does it show her in bad light in it?
They don't have any other problem.
Yes. This is a favorite topic. This is favorite topic. Unfortunately, it's a cliche.
Because they are making the fun of the wife, because mostly audience is also male.
So you do
They
one.
are clapping.
Okay. Sorry?
Not like
Yes, of course. But so when it is not there, then what do? Go back to your foundation, your base. your values. Respect. Respect every individual. There are also the way you say it. I've also seen ladies where they thrash the husband like anything. So it happens both ways. Maybe there are more males here, so you get to see a lot of them. But otherwise, it's done the other way around as well.
Take fun of a husband's character, right?
Yes, as long as you do it respectfully. As long as you do it respectfully, I would say fine. And it would be better. Also, it would be better if you have the consent of that person. Suppose, yeah, you give the speech, see how she takes it. Is she comfortable with that, listening to that? Yes, exactly. Yes, sir.
Doing too much speeches, given that, humor can often push boundaries. Okay. Oh, good, it's working. Given that when telling jokes, they can often push boundaries, when you're judging, what's the line between having a really good joke, and then the line between a really good joke, but then where does it become unacceptable? I mean, for example, at a Toastmasters club I was at back in Australia, there was a humorous speech contest. The speaker got up and he was telling a speech about cane toad golfing. The audience was literally holding their sides laughing, but the judges turned around and said, "No, that's you were talking about cruelty to animals." So when it comes to judging, how do you sort of draw the line between a joke that's getting close, that's pushing boundaries, and then determining that's unacceptable?
So if you go back to the judging sheet, there are some places where you mark for appropriateness, language. So that's where you probably want to mark that person down. You have to follow the rules. You have to follow the same criteria. So if it is not appropriate, you probably don't give him marks as the others. Like somebody is given 5, you will definitely not give him 5. You may probably give him 1 or 2. And the same thing with language. Again, that could be if the language is profane or insulting or something like that. Again, you have that option there to mark that. Probably even 5 marks could make a huge, 5 or 10 marks could be a huge difference in somebody's winning or losing. Even though everybody laughed, but still the person could lose it out. But it has to be consistent with all the judges. Only then it works. If some of them are biased towards the speaker, then it will be a problem. So we need consistency. And that's why we just don't have 1 or 2 judges. We probably have 7 or 10. The more, the merrier, they say. That's so when you balance out, it comes out more or less correct. Yep. I hope I try to answer your question. I hope it does. Thank you. So with that, we will conclude this session. I hope when you go out there, do good judging. And when somebody asks you where you learned it from, you can say District 116 conducted this wonderful event. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Happy weekend. B. Thank you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Anil Nair. So we'll just have a quick 5 minutes and be back. Yes, only 5 minutes, please.
I'm to take it home. There's a video.
Where are we taking? സാധനം തരുന്നില്ല കുറച്ച് വീട്ടിൽ കൊണ്ടുപോകണോ കുറച്ച് അവിടെ
So not interfere with your hand movement. You want it here or?
No, that's fine.
Picture
I'll be taken.
It's not. Ma'am went to washroom. Wait, ma'am went to washroom.
Check.
You guys have put it off? Have you put it off by any chance? Check, check. Am I audible? So power, this is the only button, right? Power.
We'll talk to the technical guy.
No, it's all right.
Okay.
Check, check. There's no light at all now.
This should be another one.
And who will be here? We'll start the.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Best wishes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not this, that one.
Lloyd, I think the battery is discharged. Double.
But they have a good support.
Ah, all right.
Next time you have meeting, maybe.
No, our club has in Holiday Villa. We have it in Topaz like this.
So first now.
Yeah. Doha Toastmasters. Mhm. But recently we've moved back. Now we have moved back. If this was our original price. So this has to come like this.
Check. Right?
Check, check. Check. Is it on? Now it's on, right? Check, check. Check, check. Check, check. Arav, date, please. Check, check. There should be a light here. Check, check. Check, check. Okay, right? You put it on.
No, no, this is.
Check. You'll be there.
Just remind Sherwin, when he's before he's going to start vote of thanks, that the certificates are here that it needs to be given.
Check. By your will. Okay, it's okay. We'll forget otherwise. Check.
PR aspect.
Again, you are one more.
Safra.
Shafra is here.
Safra is there.
Shafra. BPM.
You can eat later.
Afra, we are suffering.
You want to call on this?
Shafra.
Use that.
Yeah. Toastmaster Shafra, you are needed.
We are already not spike. Golden Gamma on criteria. Leaving it as well the agenda.
No problem. This is going to be YouTube. They're recording it on your YouTube. I'll not let you miss me.
Who's taking photo?
Who is taking the photo? Whose camera? Whose camera? Who is taking the photo?
All time. Yeah, smile. Yes, golden Gavin confirmed for God.
Can we get in?
All right, fellow Toastmasters, please get back to your seats.
Doha Club.
Bye, Safia.
You can take your coffee, food, and come back to the seats, please. All right, once again, we are continuing and we are on to the last segment for today's judges training session. Next up is the table topics speech contest judging. And to take us through this part, we have someone with 33 plus years in aviation and 14 plus years in Toastmasters.
Check.
Someone has a Motorola here. He's a seasoned professional with numerous achievements, 3-time District 116 International Speech Contest finalist, humorous speech champion in 2020, placed in top 3 in all the 4 categories at district level in 2022. Past area director, district pathways manager, district judges engagement chair, a commercial pilot, music lover. He mentioned that he's always ready to shake a leg, by the way. So you know whom to call. Dance enthusiast and a health advocate. Let's put our hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Kumar Menon.
I think this is not working. That is not working. I mean, it's put off. I know. Check. Thank you, Jem, for the opportunity and having faith in me to do this module. District Trio, fellow Toastmasters, and aspiring judges. Good evening. Before I start, let me take a look at what is left of the afternoon. One. Okay, so some of you will judge at a TT contest. Okay, we can fix it. Before I even get into the judging ballot, there are 3 hard-hitting facts which I want to share with you. It could be hard-hitting possibilities, but for me it is hard-hitting facts. Many of you, if you volunteer to judge, in a few months, you will receive a WhatsApp message or an email which says, "It is our honor to have your expertise to judge at our contest. And kindly respond to us at the earliest." And the moment you get that message or email, this is how you're going to feel. Let me tell you, if you are invited to be a table topic judge, don't start thinking that you are one of the best or brilliant Toastmasters of the district. You are being invited only because the best and brilliant Toastmasters of the district were not available for that contest. This is my personal experience, I'm telling you. There was a contest manager who called me and told me, Sunil. So I was trying to wriggle out of being a judge at that contest, and she said, Sunil, please don't. Judges are taken for the other contest, and the others have out of station. That's when I realized this is my standing in the district. But still, there is something positive in it. Because when they tell you, when they request you to step into the shoes of the best judges, at that moment, I picturize faces like distinguished Toastmaster Thailand, Toastmaster Philip Cherian, Toastmaster Pavitra Philip, DTM Safir, some of them even who have left the district and gone, and I start thinking, oh, they are asking me to step into their shoes. That's when the truth hits in. The accountability that they are looking for, the responsibility they are trying to entrust in us. And that's when you shun off the ego, because the moment you see this, I'm going to be a judge, I'm the judge, you start toning yourself down and you start realizing the gravity of the responsibility that you're given. So the first thing as a judge, in my opinion, is to have that sense of responsibility and ownership of that accountability. Number two, personally, I am more comfortable as a contestant than as a judge. Because as a contestant, if you underperform, it's a result of your efforts. But as a judge, if you underperform, it will be unfair to the efforts of the contestants. So personally, at a contest, when I'm judging, I am more nervous than the contestants. In the same breath, I would like to urge each one of you, if you feel uncomfortable, even at a little above average English, invoke your integrity and politely decline the offer to be a judge at the table topic contest. Because I'll give you an example. I am a Toastmaster with the Malayali Toastmaster circuit. Now, although my mother tongue is Malayalam and I speak it colloquially very well, but when someone speaks in chaste Malayalam in a super duper eloquence, I'm like, okay. I imagine at a table topic contest, Malayalam, most of the topics come from chaste Malayalam literature or lines from the poetry, which I will need a translator. And that's first thing to understand the topic. And once the contestants start giving their take on the topic, I will need another translator to understand the effectiveness and etc. of that delivery. So where is the fairness in me accepting that role? So I politely decline. So that's the second point, integrity. Because there are some leaders who say you will learn by practice. You can learn speaking, but judging is not to be learned by practice. Language is not to be learned as a judge. Learn the language as an audience. You can't be a judge at the expense of the contestant. So number 2, integrity. Number 3, if you have accepted the role of a judge for a TT contest, make sure before you leave your home, pray. Pray to whichever force you have faith in. What will you pray? This lady has great frequency. I thought you all will say pray to be a better judge. But yes, it is important for us to do justice as a judge. We need to understand the topic. And the trend these days are, when you hear the topic at times, we judges blank out. I have an experience, right? So I'll give you an example. It was at last year's one of the division contests. When the topic was read out, like I was not knowing what to do. Forget the content. I did not know because I couldn't understand how will I judge, right? The first contestant came. He did some jiggery pokery. He went off after 1 hour, 1 minute. The second contestant came. She too did some gymnastics with the topic. She too passed off. And when the third contestant was ushered in, I saw the chief judge rush to the technical team, check something on the slides, and then he suddenly declared, the contest is annulled because of some technical discrepancy. He found some discrepancy between the words in the slide that was displayed and what was uttered, read out by the contest chair. My prayers were answered. So friends, when you are going to judge, why am I asking you to pray? Because I cannot come to your venues and pray for you. So pray for yourself. Now, when you are confronted with such a topic, if you are, after discussing the ballot paper, I will share with you how I tackled it and how you can take an approach in that manner, because that can be a reality, right? So now let's quickly take a look at the ballot. We spoke a lot about the international ballot, right? So let's take it from there. So by now it should be by heart for you that each ballot has 3 parts.
Content, delivery, language.
Language, content, delivery. This is for 3 of the contests. Not, let's leave the evaluation aside. This is the 3. Okay. So the table topic ballot is also similar, except that 2 rows are missing from the international ballot, right? So we have the content, the delivery, and the language. Language is almost same for the table topic contest. It's the rows from the delivery and content that is removed, right? From the content, speech value is removed in a table topic ballot. And from the delivery, manners is removed on a table topic ballot. But is it totally removed? No. They are relocated in another box in the table topic ballot. Let me explain that. So if you look at, which you can't see, so I'll read out to you. Speech value has 3 parts: idea, logic, and original thought. In an international speech, think about it. What relevance will it have for a table topic speech? Because the idea and original thought comes from the topic, isn't it? So you can't, there's no relevance to mark for that. What remains is logic, which is required because That's how the contestant will take us through the take on his topic. That logic is retained and relocated in effectiveness, right? So that's how they have rearranged. And again, in delivery, I said mannerism is not there. What exists in the box for mannerism is directness, enthusiasm, and assurance. What assurance do you want from a table topic speaker if he survives for 2 minutes on that stage after hearing the topic? So that there's no more assurance required. So that is eliminated. But you have directness and assurance, again, relocated into effectiveness. So effectiveness is the box which is very strong in content in a table topic ballot. So let me demonstrate that. So this is the table topic ballot where I said this is content, this is delivery, and this is language. Language, it remains the same, which is appropriateness and correctness. Whereas in delivery, you have manners missing, but we have physical and voice retained, right? We have discussed physical and voice in the other two segments, so we don't go into that. And when we go into, so manner in delivery, is it totally eliminated? No. As I said, directness and enthusiasm is pushed into effectiveness. Similarly, for content, which I said speech value is not present in this ballot, the contents, that is logic, is again moved to effectiveness here, and idea and original thought is removed because that all stems from the topic. So this is how table topic ballot is. We have 2 rows for content, speech development and effectiveness, physical and voice for delivery, and appropriateness and correctness for the language. Now, let me take you through a thought process of a judge, right? So I will display one topic for you. So simulate yourself as a judge, not as a contestant. You can, but think of yourself as a judge. This is the topic. Toastmaster XYZ, life sucks. The good looking are married to someone else. Life sucks. The good looking are married to someone else. Toastmaster XYZ. Now you all are judges. Okay? Now, as a judge, I'm telling you, 96% of you, see the number, 96% of you all are going to think, yeah, we know about it. Let's hear your story. This is how you're going to be on the tape. Okay? Now you have 4% left. 1% of them will stand up and say, giggle, I am not married, so my life is not yet sucking. That could be 1%. Another 1% will say, I have a good looking partner, but still my life sucks. And still the story will go. That is another take. There will be 1% that will say, so what if they are married to someone else? It's convenient. If you see a beautiful flower in a park, you admire it. You take it send, you take a selfie with it, but don't pluck it and take it with you. So probably he's saying we already have trouble at home. We don't need more trouble at home. That's another take. So we have 98, 1 more percent. Now this 1% will be the kind who will be, oh, so cute. They will say, my life does not suck. My partner is ugly, but still what I look for is in the inner beauty, whatever it means. So you have 5 different takes for that topic, and you are a judge and you will be having one of these takes, 100%. And that's how you will keep your yardstick. Now here, I want to caution you. whatever be the take, all 5 takes can be a winner, provided they present it with logic, the right words, and conclude with conviction. We as a judge are not there to judge based on moral values. It is clearly a take on that topic. We have to realize that. So, these are 3 statements which I coined. As a judge, our job is to see how effectively did the contestant develop their idea. These are words from the ballot which I have taken, and present it incorporating engaging physical and voice attributes with an eloquently appropriate and correct language. So all the keywords have been taken from the ballot. All that we have to see is, has he done something like this? And then rate all the contestants based on that. No influence of moral values here. We shall not judge but by what we think is morally right. Any idea could be a winner if presented logically, with confidence, with the right words, and solid conclusion with conviction. So far, so good?
Yes.
Now, during the contest, as a TT judge, we are working over, I'm working overtime as a TT judge. Don't think because it's just 2 minutes delivery and we can do some magic. No, we will not be doing justice. So for me, first thing, be ready with a pen to take notes. But the positive side is only 2 minutes of notes that you have to take. But please do take notes. When we talk about scoring, I will tell you how it will be an advantage. Write down the entire topic on your page, the entire topic. Why I say entire topic? Because it could be 2 parts, 3 parts, 1 part, whatever it is, it should be there right in front of you, because the slides will keep going on and off. The contest chair, whenever she may repeat it 8 times or 16 times, but still it may not stay back. You should have it so that we know if the contestant is going in line with the topic. While you are thinking on the topic, there is a possibility you will miss. You will forget you are a judge, and you will go into contest mode to decide how the take should be. In that process, you might miss the opening part of the contestant. So stay focused. Note the opening gesture. How is he standing? Is he already nervous? Is he gone over? Can you see the loss of confidence? Look at all the mannerism. What is the first word? Is it a story? Is he opening up confidently? Look for all that. Be focused on the contestant. Now, too much of time and greetings and repeating the topic are red flags. Now, you might see in clubs, especially when you go to clubs, the new members, they are not mentored. They have no clue. Just because they speak well, they have been pushed to add meat to the contest, and they come and they become very innocent, slaughtered, because they have no clue how to present it. It is the VP education and the mentor's duty to tell whomever you encourage to go to the contest, this is the manner in which you should conduct. Don't come and say, okay, thank you for the opportunity to take a talk on this topic, and the topic given to me today is, like how the primary school children do their elocution. We should be different from that. But even we adults will aid the same practice if we are not told. No, go into the topic. You have been given a topic, speak on it. Explain to them whether you agree, don't agree, but don't stand, okay, this topic, I agree with it. Life sucks. Yes, I agree with. No, don't start like that. Start with a story, start with an example, then take them into your take, and then the audience should realize which way you're going. That's the trick. So the opening is not opening to say that, yes, I agree. No, the opening is, okay, this is what happens, or this is what happened. once upon a time, or in 1924, this is what happened. Start with something where which will grab the attention, the same principles of international speech. Clear? So, people who do this, they are buying time. They have lost it. So, be mindful of it. They will start wishing from the DED to the sergeant at arms to everybody, father, mother, everybody, thank God for the talk. Be very clear, they are playing around with time. Do not start scoring down mentally if a contestant takes more than 5 seconds, because some contestants they will apply their mind, because there is a general notion that we must address the topic fast. Nowhere in the rule book is it's written how many seconds you can start thinking. It's a relative thing. And I can tell you, no contestant will stand here for 10 seconds thinking, because it's going to put pressure on him or her. He or she is not going to do that. They will try to address it ASAP. But you may have a measure, no, 2 seconds or 3 seconds. If he exceeds that, don't let it play on your mind and say, no, this guy has already got an advantage, or let's not do that. Let's see, after taking that, is he or she coming up with a good job? So let's be fair. This is my take on it. Now, there are some people, before the contest chair finishes and turns, they have started, yes, sir, it's like that. Don't get impressed by that. There is no high marks for that. Oh, he could speak, he could do, no. You go for the entire take. Did he have an opening, body, conclusion? Did it relate with the topic? Are you convinced? Then only you mark him well. There are no high points for that. Now, there are guys who speak very well in the language, very eloquent. I can talk English, I can walk English, I can do that, but about the topic, I didn't speak anything. The topic was not heard, the topic was not listened to, they have not understood the topic, they have just 2 minutes 30 seconds of high decibel English. Fluent. You can get impressed. Don't get carried away by that. Our objective is to see, were they effective with the topic, speech effectiveness. That is where those words in that box play the role. So do not get fooled by these smart speakers. Have they addressed the topic, and in what logic sequence have they taken you to convince you about their stand on the topic? Very clear about that. As I said, take notes on whether they agree, disagree, and the example they have given. Now, 8 speakers, and I'll tell you why this is important. 8 speakers. Maybe the first speaker spoke about a death in the family. Second speaker spoke about an injury. Somebody spoke about a surgery. Somebody spoke about environment. Somebody spoke about drug abuse. 8. Make just 2-word notes of each of this, because later on, when you have a tie in marks, these stories will get you back to think, okay, this touched me more. This was more convincing. So you yourself can break the tie between the contestants. But if you don't make this note, by the 7th contestant, you're going to forget what the first contestant said. You would have marked and it's over. So make these notes. All the stuff done well that impressed you. Now you cannot write, he used the stage well, he used that, but he didn't do this, he didn't do. Whatever he or she didn't do, just leave it. Whatever you saw, okay, he made a meaningful movement, okay, stage. Just put stage. Vocal variety, intonation, depending on the emotions, he made intonation, just put intonation against that contestant. So whatever good things you know, so later on when you want to go back and break a tie yourself, you have your data. Nothing is out of the blue that no, there's no bias, because you have noted what has impressed you. Take that effort during the contest. Just single words. Now, if he did not have good vocal variety, or he just stood in one place and addressed it, so there is nothing to write. You don't mention that he didn't move or he didn't know. Just put what. So you have all the good things mentioned about all the contestants, right? And opening and conclusion. I didn't mention about body of the speech because all these things come inside the body. You know, the effectiveness comes out of how he has presented it, how he has given you the logic. But opening, is he actually saying, thank you for the topic. Yes, what I have been given is this. Then he is talking, then he is dilly-dallying and he has not moved into the topic. That's not a great opening, right? But immediately he says, okay, it was year 1987. My child was in grade 5. One day he came to me and running and he said, Dad, this has happened. Now he is not even telling you what is the stake, which direction is going. He is taking you into a story. It's an opening, attention grabbing opening. And then you will wait to hear a story and he will tell you what is the learning in that story and he will tell you why he feels this is agreeable or agreeable. That's when you realize, okay, it's convincing. It's his experience. It's not your experience. It's convincing because he felt and he agrees with it, right? That is the speech effectiveness you have to look for. But if you do not mention, okay, this is how he presented it in 2-3 words, you will not remember it when you are breaking a tie towards the end. Because 2-minute speeches, 1 minute for marking, your entire contest will be over. And as a judge, you will be rattling your brains and you may not give a fair mark. Don't wait to sum up as the contest is progressing. Just put the marks and leave. Just put the marks and leave. You do the summing up later. And when you have 2 or 3 candidates with the same score and you need to break it, look at this. Okay, I gave this. So if it is 96, this is how I do. If 3 people come with 96, 96, 96, I will put, depending on the impressions I got, okay, this is 96B, this is 96A, this is 96C. So I have 1, 2, and 3. I break this. So similar, in the end, I have who is 1, 2, and 3. But if I don't write these notes, I'll be blank. And then at the end of the contest, you'll have the ballot counter standing over your shoulder like this. Your additions will go wrong, that will go wrong, everything will go wrong. Tell them to take a walk and come. Take your own time because this is your time and you have to be fair to the contestants, right? So use your notes, use your data. It's not fluke marks you're putting. It's clear analysis of what you went through during the contest. So for that, you have to take this pain of taking notes for each and every contestant. So you have a white sheet given, right? A spare sheet. So for every contestant, you put contestant number 1, this is all that I saw. Contestant number 2, this is what I saw. 3, I saw. 8 of them, you should have your data. Is it possible to do? Or is it something I'm saying it's something very impossible to do? It is manually possible. That's why we have to be alert, right? Now, scoring. You know, during the international speech contest, there was a mention that the first contestant, he is used as the standard. I too do that. It is easy to say not to do that, but nobody says how we should do it. So what I do is, okay, that's standard. If I am impressed, I will give something. The marks will come to around 95%. Now see why I do that. If you give 95, this is 96, 97, 98, 99. What he said was correct. Others will be either higher than him or lower than him. That will happen. But at the end, I normally go back to see if the first one, we have been unfair to the first one. Have I been in a hurry to give marks to him? Because all that I noted on against his speech would end up better than some of the ones who have come later. So I remark, no, this, in hindsight, yes, this is actually better. There's nothing that stops us to go and not correct our marking if you feel that was better than the previous one. So this is one way you can overcome that bias towards the first speaker. So scoring, yes, this is how I do it. I have the yardstick, the first person as the reference, and then it's plus or minus accordingly as they go. But I will come back to the first one and to see were the others actually better than him, or could he have been given a better score than him? We can do that, and we must do that. Don't just ignore him because he was the first speaker. Is this possible? This is also possible, to be fair to that person. Now the blackout topic, those wonderful topics brought by those contest chairs who are looking for soul searching replies in their life from the contestants. And so, which is beyond our control. So one such topic that came out was like this. And I was sitting there, and as a judge, I was shivering. What will I put here? What will I put? And as I said, the contestants were all going berserk, thinking about this, what to do, and this is the contest they abandoned midway because of that technical issue, thankfully. And it took me 4 months and some days to actually think, if I was given a topic, how will I tackle it? Because once it is there, challenges can come up. So you have to see, what would you have done? And it took me a lot of time. We are not here, I mean, that's a different thing. We are not here to challenge the contestants in this manner. But we as judges, if we are encountering this, we have to face it, right? We can't protest, right? So we have to live through it. So what I did that day was, or what I would do is, first stop grieving because that situation is there. Now don't think about it. You faced it, you are into it. Be ready to take notes. You continue your job. Okay? Take notes for every speaker. Whatever they say, you take notes. Because it may be going left, it may be going right, because you have not understood the topic. We don't know where they are going, but they are going somewhere. Let's note down that. Okay? Now, it may be possible that it can start making sense after the fourth speaker has started saying something, because he is giving some direction. 3 people tried, but didn't come. When the fourth speaker started talking, you understand, okay, the topic can be handled like this also. Great. So now we have some direction. Now we will be comfortable to judge the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because you got some reference, right? Now, the same thing. Now that you have understood the topic, the first 3 didn't manage to convince you, but they could have made some sense because you were lost, right? So it's a good idea to go back again because you have taken notes. Now with this reference, go back and check if 1, 2, and 3, did I lose it out, or did they actually make sense when they were trying to explain it? Give them also a chance when you do the scoring. Don't leave them, because otherwise you will have from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're 1, 2, 3. Because you feel they are the ones who convinced you with the topic. The thing was, we couldn't understand. Maybe the 1, 2, and 3 would have done a good job, but we didn't understand the topic. That can be a situation that happens, right? So to minimize, you cannot totally eliminate it. So to minimize that situation, take this effort. Take notes, and the moment you get the reference, you do the marking. But then, based on the reference, go back to these people. Oh, this was the story he gave. This is the logic he gave. Yeah, but actually it matches with this pattern, this understanding about the topic. So let's rescore them. Do that. Because anyway, the contest is a mess. So you can ask the ballot counters, let me take time, let me just redo it. Do a fair job, mark it well, and then only hand over. I'm not going to say about the signature and names. 3 times it has been told, please do that. Put your name and signature and then hand it over to the ballot, right? So that sense which you got from the 4th speaker should be used as a yardstick to score the remaining contestants and reassess the earlier contestants so that you can be fair with them. It's very clear here, there won't be any objectivity, because the objectivity comes after the 4th speaker. So there is going to be a big amount of subjective scoring in this. That is the best you can do, right? So as judge, it's not always going to be a rosy picture. You will get challenges from the contest chair. Be prepared for that. First thing is pray. Okay, don't forget that. Any questions? I'm done. So,
Thank you. It was so wonderful. You know, you are passionate in judging for this. I could see that. Yeah. Thank you so much. But you are a judge, and finally the results were announced, and you are out of the podium. Then you have felt like a discrepancy. You judge somebody, the top
always.
came.
If I say that very loudly, JEM will not take me on. This guy has some problem.
You have correct on that stage that our judging was totally wrong.
We cannot do that. No, see, except for the moral values, if you leave that aside, what you felt vocal variety can be different by what somebody else felt. For me, it doesn't matter whether they use the stage or not. Did he stand confidently and did he address it? That is my requirement. Did he dance? Did he? Okay, maybe for one part or two part he did, it's fine. But I would not even notice that. But yes, if somebody did it to emphasize on some action, that will stand out because it will be in my notes. But result, I go with this that the people, poor people, the one I give may not win, but I do my job.
If you always go wrong, there's a part that we need to correct because there's a benchmark given for judging. Then we always go wrong and the majority.
I'm not that bad. No, sometimes we can go wrong. We can go wrong. There is no correction you can give. Out of three, even if one comes in the top three you have selected, that's you are on the line. The other two, because it could have been tie also. They were there in the reckoning. It could be been a tie and they got edged up. But your selection would have been in the top five or at least the top four out of the 8. Yes.
So if someone selected means you are happy.
I am happy. I won't tell them also, but I am happy. Yes. But it happens very often.
Sir, many a times, some of them finish in the green light, some in the yellow. So usually when we are judging, we feel that at least in yellow light they should speak. They should speak for 1.5 minutes. But many a times they speak for the topic. So that time how to judge if they have finished by starting of the yellow light?
If you say, ma'am, even at 2 minutes, if you are actually convincing the audience, 2 minutes is also less actually. You can do ample content, you can put ample content. By the time you give an example itself, it will be 1.5 minutes, and then you got to conclude. If the person has finished by 1 minute, he has given the date, but he has not given an example. I can write and give you. The example will, the moment you start explaining the example, when you start, the secret of a successful table topic, in my opinion, is getting the right example at that point. The moment you hear, this has happened in my life, yes, this is how I'm going to take. And once that feeling comes in, nobody can stop you. 1.5 minutes will go just like this. Then you have to realize, I have to finish it off, and then you'll start writing. So, no, ma'am, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. If they have substance, they will easily go to 2 minutes.
And sir, if we don't greet the audience or the contest jury, is that okay, or is there compulsion that we should do?
There is no compulsion, but the Toastmaster protocol is we take control, we hand back control. At least address the contest chair, right? Because we are taking the speaking area from him or her. That's it. But if you see in world championships and all, friends, contest chair and your friends, this is how they don't address everybody else. It's a courtesy. That's what I said. The greeting and all can be a red flag. They have not understood the topic, so they are buying time. So be careful. Hello? Hello?
They'll contact you.
Yeah, I know we are tired. It's almost the end of the day. So no problem. My number is there. My email ID is there. Anytime, I'm happy to help. Right?
If you take us next contest, you will judge you.
You'll judge me. Hope I do that. Hope I contest. All right. All the best. Happy judging. Thank you very much.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sunil, for that wonderful session. So quickly, It's good to see so many of you are still here. So let's move on to the final part. And yes, one more thing. I hope all of you have had good takeaways from today's session. Make use of it. And in case you have any more questions or doubts, all the trainers are available. You can definitely contact them and get your doubts clear. Yeah. So moving on to the final part, we have the vote of thanks to be given by our PQD, Distinguished Toastmaster Sherwin Olimpo. Let's put our hands together for him. Yeah, yeah, first certificates. You want me to give or you have?
No, certificates first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Certificates.
This can give it down.
Yeah. No. So can we call them?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give you.
All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. Still alive? Say yes, it's still alive. Okay. Before anything else,